Hey, you guys, it's been quite a day here. I'm just going to go right out and say it. We are having one hell of a bad day here, one thing or another. I hope you can see me. I hope my camera here works. I hope that everything works like it's supposed to. Yesterday, well, if you don't know me, my name is Suzanne Tidkemeyer. I worked for Pathos for almost 10 years, writing for a column called No Longer Quivering. I did that. Now I'm just doing my own thing. I'm trying to work on books, but I'm being delayed and put aside because of some crazy things with Twitter and not Twitter, what am I saying? The beer bug, the beer virus that everybody keeps complaining about and getting in various things. So I want to talk about a couple things today. I'm sorry I did not stream yesterday. I was just having one of those days where I just wasn't well and I didn't really know why. I didn't have particular symptoms. I just wasn't myself. And today I'm really discombobulated because I'm on my other computer. I'm not on my usual one. I'm on my ancient one. So anyway, long story short, we have had quite the 24 hours here, 24 hours or so. Didn't feel well yesterday, didn't stream as a result. Today I'm not having a great day, but I'm wanting to talk about some of it. Okay, if you are coming to Costa Rica to move here, this is one of the things that is delaying my book on moving to Costa Rica. The beer bug has changed everything. I don't know about you guys, but here we're now at 2,500 new cases a day, okay, every single day. ICU beds are full. There are no more ICU beds for kids available. The beer bug is doing its thing here. And in the meantime, Costa Rica is pretending everything is hunky-dory. Come move here. Come visit. Don't visit. Don't move here right now. It's a very terrible time to be doing either one of them. This morning when I was out running my errands, I went past a whole pile of people on four-wheelers who were just all over the place. I had to play dodge 'em cars with the golf carts, which happens. Twice here, I've seen strange golf cart wrecks. One of them, the guy in front of me was in his golf cart with his buddies. There were like 8 of them in the golf cart, and he was hanging on to the back railing and jumping around. I could tell he was a little bit looped up, a little drunk. He ended up falling off the golf cart, and he fell on the hood of my car and then rolled off and rolled across the road. He rolled across the road. I don't know how he didn't get squashed because this was on Tamarindo's main drag, bumper-to-bumper traffic, foolish American drunks. So there's that. Then there's the time that I saw the golf cart full of people, like 6 or 8 people, and they took the turn too fast and they all fell out like bowling pins. That was pretty interesting. I was also a little bit drunk and nobody was injured. So I guess that's one benefit of alcohol. If you do these crazy things, none of this hurts you. So anyway, why am I saying don't move here and why is this delaying my book? Well, because like I said, the 2,500 new cases a day, we're having that. They're pretending that it's not a thing here. They're trying to downplay it so tourism will come. The U.S. has marked Costa Rica as do not visit. They haven't stopped you from visiting, but they've said don't come here because of this crap with the beer virus. Well, here's another reason why to delay your trip or to maybe, if you're going to move here, maybe give it 6 months and see what happens. Rents have doubled here. Rents have doubled. For a long time, maybe if you're going to move here, maybe give it 6 months and see what happens. Rents have doubled here. Rents have doubled. For a long time, there was a pile of houses for sale things. That is no more. What was on for a couple of years is like gone. As soon as they lifted the restrictions for coming here, people flooded in and they bought everything for sale. I am seeing astronomical prices being asked for rentals and housing. There is a rental in the middle of Tamarindo that with everything, including all your utilities, they were charging $1,600 a month. They're going for sale or going like that, and they're going for high dollars. So if you're thinking about moving here, I would give it 6 months, so maybe 6 months to a year to think about that and see if the market rights itself. Because usually we have a good 18 months or so worth of sales available, but not right now. It's just crazy. And I don't even know why it's crazy. Okay, number 2, without a box of Kleenex. For those of you that don't know, that's what I call a certain very problematic YouTuber who is currently embroiled in what seems like at least 2 lawsuits, maybe more. She makes me laugh. Yesterday, she said that she knew who the hackers were, that they got the hackers. For those of you that are new, the hacker story is an old one. It goes back at least a year, maybe, well, not a year. It goes back to the beginning of her lawsuit with Tati Westbrook. She was claiming that she was getting death threats and hacked emails were going hither and yon and various things. And she was carrying on about that quite a bit. And what happened was I don't know what they did to her, but they were saying, what the heck? I'm trying to get my chat to work because it's not working. She was saying that she knew exactly who it was and who was doing it. And she said that like 3 other times. Now she has claimed, finally and forever, they all know who it is. And all I'm going to say about that is it must have been Colonel Mustard in the conservatory with the candlestick. Don't believe it. Do not believe it. She said this 4 times now. You're right, right, Diaz. She keeps saying this. And it's obviously not true. She's not working with the FBI. Ain't nobody looking into this. Only reason that Salty looked into it and was able to get the FBI interested in it is because he was getting messages that would fall under hate crimes. He was getting messages because he is Jewish. He was getting all kinds of like neo-Nazi type things. So there's that. Salty, I believe. KJ, I do not believe. So there's that. So she's actually running around. Here's one thing I know about her from the years of knowing about her when she does and says these things. Whenever there's a lot of pressure on her, like Steve McRae's lawsuit and Todd Chrisley's looming lawsuit. Sorry, I got a piece of hair in my mouth. So every time there's this crap going on, start screaming that she knows who it is who's doing it eventually, even though she doesn't have a clue. Or she starts screaming and carrying on and saying stuff about her son's health, her animal's health. She's having a nervous breakdown, or that she's thinking about taking that final step, final exit. She loves to do that too. That's her other go-to move when she's being examined very closely. The other go-to move for her is she just gets where she's just super friendly and super happy and la da 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 da. So we're watching her spin through this crap, and now we're on the step that says, I know who the hackers are. So that's why I'm saying it's Colonel Mustard in the conservatory with the candlestick, because it makes about as much sense as Clue the game. Clue the game, you would get just as much information on who the hacker is. So anyway, that's just my side ramble. The main thing I wanted to talk about today was life with a disability. We keep circling around to that. I keep hearing everybody's tales about what they're going through with this. Yesterday I didn't post because, like I said, I was just up in the bed. I didn't even know why. I just said, I don't feel right. I don't feel right. Well, now I know why I don't feel right. I think I'm winding up for asthma. I had a hell of a day this morning. I went out this morning to go grocery shopping. I was forced to take my brand new nice computer to the computer store because it's acting up. That's exactly what it's like, Stacy, and that's exactly what I think she's done. She thinks that if she can keep bullying people and saying that crap, somebody will confess. Nobody is confessing. Nobody is doing that probably except for in her mind. Or maybe connected with Swanson. I mean, I've always believed that Clark Swanson had something to do with the emails and all that crap earlier. Could be wrong, but I think that he is. I think he is the originator of all of that. Long story. Shopping. Taking the computer to the computer store, which was I exercised in frustration in itself because I got a guy who doesn't know me who immediately opened up my laptop and started doing this. After I'd said, dude, I've already run all the schematics on this. I know what's wrong with it. I need the drivers updated for the wireless card. And I could have done it myself, but I've just reached a point in my life where I don't feel like dealing with any of that. Let everybody else do all that. So he was running all this schematics. He said, your drivers need updating. I could have saved you 10 minutes and told you that. So that was my first frustration. The guy that did not know me at the computer store, that did not know I had already done all this crap. And when I walked in and said, this is the error number, this is what it said, all of that. So going to the grocery store. I think I'm going to have to, spoonie analogy has been instrumental in Kyle's. I am familiar with it, and I am having to feel that spoonie thing really hard right now. I started thinking about it. I drove today by myself so that Jim could be here to have the cable guys hook up the TV because they missed the TV in here when they installed in the other one. Like I said, we switched over everything, our cable, our internet, to another provider who has a better deal and more bandwidth. So I can actually come here and do a few of these things sometimes better than I did, but that's not saying much. So long story short, spoonie stuff, driving, having horrible thoughts about driving. I don't know how many of you have had to stop giving up driving. I think I'm to the point where I'm about ready to stop driving unless it's an emergency. Why? Because it's actually starting to be more difficult with my vision, with everything else. I'm nervous about having a stroke if I'm driving. I mean, just all sorts of things. And so I drove to the grocery store where I encountered boatloads of entitled Americans and British people. And it was not good. I was in there with my cane trying to fill my little cart, and it just didn't go well. And everything about it did not go well. Gamma, I'm going to have to stop giving up. I'm going to have to give up driving. And I hate giving up my independence, but I don't see another way around it. If only I had my husband with me today, pushing my cart, putting my groceries away, the whole 9 yards. Hopefully I wouldn't have been knocked into with people's carts, pushed out of the way, had my cane kicked out from under me, the whole 9 yards. It is so hard to navigate a world where normals don't understand what you're going through. It's just really very difficult. One of the things that I look at pretty consistently on Reddit is the Reddit one, illness fakers. The first time that I went there to cuss them out because they were making fun of mast cell sufferers, people claiming they have mast cell with disability. A bad nervous driver. Well, I don't see as well as I once did pre-ophthalmic stroke. So I don't see well. I don't see as well, even though they corrected my vision. It's just not well anymore. I don't see as well. So it's a vision thing. It's a couple things going on. It's nerves. It's all of that. Me worrying. So I'm gonna stop driving, I think, for the most part, except for if it's an emergency. It's just too nerve-wracking now with everything going on. And so I ran out and I did the things that I had to do around people that don't understand. Then I came home. And oh my God, I wish I could pick up this huge honking laptop and show you what these guys did. These guys that put in my cable here in my bedroom. Issei went through my attic. They went in the attic. They laid all the cords. Didn't do anything evil. They did everything the right way. They went through the attic. They ran the cables that way. These people ran the damn cables on the floor and attached them to my hand carved, put them in. And I did that, and I just had a fit. You want to see me yelling, screaming, and carrying on? You guys should have seen it. I'm sure my blood pressure was through the roof. But it was the craziest thing. So now, and it's funny because they refused. I said, that's just how it is. They said, they're not climbing through my attic. They don't care what I think about it. They're putting it on the floor. So now I'm going to have to outlay a lot more money to get this shit fixed. I am some kind of pissed off. This has just been one of those days where I should have gone straight back to bed. I guess we all have those days. Hey, Real Entertainment News. It's just been one of those days. I'm just venting about being disabled and having people putting over on me and kicking my cane out from under me and the whole damn thing. It's just been one of those days. Here's what I'm thinking about doing. There's got to be 5 trillion Law and Order episodes on, or maybe I will rewatch Better Call Saul or something with the crochet hook in my hands. I'm almost finished with my curtains. I got to show you guys when I do. So, Stacy, I sometimes have road rage, but here's the thing here in Costa Rica. There are a lot of times you'll see stuff like somebody driving real slow in front of you. You'll pull up behind them. You look at the sign. They have the little hand letter sign they have in the back window, and it'll say something like, sorry, I'm going so slow. It'll say in Spanish, sorry, I'm so slow, but I have a big pot of soup in my back seat. So there's things like that. And then there are a lot of people that drive insanely here, that just drive real fast and go around you in the whole 9 yards. I know, Amanda, I can't wait. Man, how are you feeling about this season's Love After Lockup? I got to tell you, I am not liking it as much as I've liked other seasons. Usually there are people, or oh, my cat's up there. I guess she's looking for treats. Usually there are people that we, hey, Angela, that we root for. Usually. I usually find 1 or 2 couples or people that I'm like, oh, I hope they make it. Or there's something just likable about that little scamp. Like last season, as much as I did not want to like him, I was kind of getting a laugh out of Mr. John Miller Indian, or as people were calling him, Chief Sitting BS. I was calling him Big Little Chief Smokes a Lot, vapes a lot, because every time you saw him on the show, he had that stupid vape in his hand. And I was wondering what he was vaping all that time. I don't know. Is marijuana legal in Iowa? Too many spoilers in social media for me to have a couple to root for. Yeah. There were a lot of that too. And there was a lot of really super bad behavior going on this year. It's like little Nicole and Deontay. I didn't know who to root for. I mean, Deontay seemed nice, but he also seemed about as deluded as a person could get. And when he had that stupid sex toy and he was tossing it in the dishwasher, look, I'm not going to throw shade at anybody for having a sex toy, but I don't know anybody in their right mind that's going to wave that thing around on TV either. Ray and Brittany, I'm surprised at that too, Amanda, because I didn't think that Ray was really into Brittany. I wasn't picking up vibes that he really was. I'm really surprised that they're the one couple that made it. Now, I knew Nicole and Deontay weren't going to make it because he was clearly deluded and she was clearly having sex with everybody else that she could on the side, and that was just crazy. I don't get that. And it was funny to see Virginia Beach. Every time they go to them or they go to Lacey and Shane and John, like looking at Virginia Beach laughing, going, oh yeah, I know where they're at. I know where that is. That dishwasher trick turned my stomach too. Yes. He was throwing that thing at her. Angela, oh my God, I hope that's not true. I am hearing Josh Duggar may take a deal to serve only a few years. Got ping bombed last time I showed. Oh my goodness. I am so sorry, Ren. I wasn't there. Like I said, I've been just kind of out of it. My computer died last night, my good one, think a new one. So I'm back with my old workhorse of an HP that I bought like 8 years ago that was top of the line 8 years ago that barely works now. So I'm back on that thing. Amanda, I saw that Life After Lockup starts this week, and I don't want to see Lacey and Shane. I am so sick of seeing Lacey. And seeing the picture of Lacey and Nicole having sex on OnlyFans was one of the most stomach turning things I've seen related to Love After Lockup. Oh, so there's that. Now, Josh Duggar, I don't even know what to tell you on that one. I'm going to have to research that rumor and see just how true that is. I think the best way to do that is to look and see what a certain with a box of Kleenex is saying, because you should be jumping on that like white on rice. And Uni was on this show. Stacy, does Uni have a girlfriend in jail? Because he could be on that show if he really wanted to. That would be kind of funny. And it's real, what happened with your live last night? Because I was not there. I did not see it. Like I said, my computer started dying last night. It started making the noise. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it. It's a certain click that your computer starts making when the hard drive starts dying. That started, then it decided it was not going to recognize any internet whatsoever, any wireless, anything. And it's a mostly new computer, so I'm pretty shocked I'm having that kind of problems. Yet I'm here on an old workhorse of an HP that I've had all these years. The screen is cracked, the keyboard doesn't work, the internal mouse doesn't work, the touchpad doesn't work, nothing works, except I can boot it up. Angela, I heard that. I heard her say that she's going to go to Arkansas. And she's saying, I'm only going to Arkansas to see my best friend, Amy Duggar King. And if she goes to the trial, oh my God, I am so tempted to fly to the trial myself just for the heck of it. All the documents, response to Josh, are on Reddit. I know, I saw some of them. I actually went into Pacer, downloaded, and was looking at a lot of them the other day. A lot of people have been doing that with the pings. Yeah, I've heard about that. This seems to be a thing now, and I don't know why they're doing it, except that I would probably laugh if somebody did it to me. If I ever figured out StreamYard enough and somebody came in here with a ping, I would probably just laugh. So there's that. I know they're probably trying their damnedest to get you demonetized, would be my belief there, real. And I'm sorry they did that to you. But I'm not surprised, because look at who we're talking about and who their fans are. When you have a crazy fan base, I don't think it says anything good about a creator. I really don't. I was listening to Dina Danzig, is that her name? Hey, JC. And she was talking about this because she was saying what I've said all along, which is, if you're a creator and your fans are going and they're doing all these awful things, they're showing up with pings up to do this, that, and the other thing, you got to look at the creator and go, wait a minute, why are your people doing that? Because if I ever heard of somebody that's a regular here showing up and throwing pings and whatever, first I would laugh, and then probably I would go after them and say, hey, don't do that. It's not Dina Danzig. Yeah, that's right. This comment said the same thing. Just go and see. Oh, she's a lot closer to Arkansas than I am too. Dana does talk sense. I like Dana. Yeah, and there's not that much sense on here. And I gotta admit, a day like today and yesterday, I ain't got no sense. What I've got is low blood pressure and low blood oxygen again. So I'm getting ready to take a nap in a few. And hopefully LB and KG in the courtroom. Oh my goodness. I would love to be a fly on the wall for that. And here's the thing, here's something that's so incredible about without a box of Kleenex and some of the other people. They're screeching, oh, Josh's trial is public. Trials are public. But the minute you try to log on and watch their restraining order thing, they're like, oh, it's private. Very few of these things are. And here's the thing with the Duggar trial that I don't think that she has thought about. I have a feeling they're not going to let much in the way of media in there, much less regular old people. Why? Because some of the people that they are going to And some of the witnesses are children under the age of 18, and the judge has already ruled that those kids will be protected, their faces and their testimony and their names will be protected. So if you have a trial like that, a lot of times they just will not allow anybody in the courtroom. Plus, most courtrooms now, including the Supreme Court, are going witness-free right now because of the COVID thing. So he may have a jury trial. There may not be a viewing audience actually in the flesh there. So she may just waste that trip to Arkansas. The material is too sensitive, way too sensitive to have any kids in that room. Sincere, I know what that's like too. That is one of the things that is the most frustrating about having any kind of this kind of illnesses or any kind of chronic thing going on. With me, when I have asthma, I'll have days like I had yesterday today. Right before I have a very bad asthma attack, my blood pressure will go into my shoes. My blood oxygen levels will go into my shoes. I'll either get really ragey or I'll get really cryy. Today was cryy. I think I wept from the time I left the house. Close too, can't they? Yes, they can. They absolutely can. They can. The internet journalism thing, Stacy, Supreme Court ruled on that in Washington. They ruled that if you are a YouTuber, you are not a reporter or a journalist, you're not a protected class, you're not entitled to the same documents and insider info and all that a reporter would be. So a reporter would probably be allowed in the courtroom in some way, shape, or fashion, but someone like her is going to be denied. They ruled on that recently. So I think that there's a strong possibility she can go and not even be allowed in the courtroom, which would be hysterical. It is truly up to the judge, Bliss, and I don't know how that's going to play out with this judge. This judge is concerned with keeping the anonymity of the children, protecting the children as well she or he should be. I agree, Sincere. It's a hard thing. It's a hard thing. It's a hard thing to do that. And if you're having like me where you don't always recognize what's going on, I didn't recognize till I got home at around noon that what was going on was it was my disability, was my mast cell had kicked in and I was having all the crazy mast cell asthma things that I have going on. I keep looking at my cat. I keep wondering what she's going to get into. Her new habit now is grabbing receipts, paper, tinfoil, whatever, styrofoam, and shredding it. Right now, behind here, I have these lovely cabinetry. Let's see if I can show you a little. It extends all along the wall here. It extends quite a ways. And behind there, I can see she has shredded up piles of tinfoil. Piles! And I can't reach it with a broom or anything. It's just stuck back there now. So anybody walking in the door to my bedroom, into the dressing area, is going to see this big old pile of shredded tinfoil behind the furniture that I don't have any clue how I'm going to get it out. I guess if I had a vacuum cleaner, I could stick the hose back there, but I don't. So who knows? I have to figure out a way to get it. JC, I fully expect that. She will try to get on the local news. She will try to sell info to TMZ, which she tried to do once before. She ended up having to give them the video because they weren't going to pay her because TMZ doesn't pay, I understand. And she thinks she's an expert. She thinks she's an expert, so she's going to push herself as an expert. She's going to sell, and it's not going to work. And it's going to be boom goes the dynamite. You are exactly right, JC. And here's the thing. She doesn't have any journalistic credentials. Like I was explaining on Saturday, why she claims to be a journalist. Donna, that's the thought. I have a leaf blower. Okay. Have a leaf blower. My cat goes crazy over plastic. If my 3-year-old opens up a string cheese, my tucks on her. Garfield loves ribbon. So I got to be careful of both of them because I don't want to get a blockage. Yeah. Yes, JC. I remember seeing those messages too. I don't remember exactly when they were, or I would go back and pull them up. But there were messages between her and TMZ, or Matt at TMZ, where she was trying to sell that particular video clip and other things, and they denied her. Well, that's one of her big false claims against me. She said that I've sold information to the tabloids on Josh Duggar. Man, I wish I had. If I'd made $50K a month, like she was saying, selling that information, I would have a solid gold hot tub. So there's that. Stacy, yes, and you can't have it both ways. She doesn't have a journalistic creed like Creds. Like I said, she didn't even bother to read or sign off on the best practices, which go over ethics for Pathos. Oh, so tuxies are eating that plastic and ribbon. This girl is not a tuxie, but she just loves anything that she can shred with her mouth, and I'm just not having it. So there's that. So anyway, that's why I'm here, and that's why I'm complaining, because I just had one hell of a day. Thank you for distracting me without a box of Kleenex, without a ball of wax paper, without a paper towel, without a brain cell, whatever you want to call her. And now I must scamper off and look at this Josh Duggar rumor. I hope that's not true. I don't think he's going to fare well in prison, federal prison, regardless. Why? Because do you know what happens to child molesters in prison? Guys who are accused of what he's accused of usually end up dead. And the ones that don't end up dead end up significantly harmed. I'm not enjoying the idea of him being harmed or killed or anything at all, no. But I think they're going to have to put him in segregation his entire sentence, and that's going to be tough. That's mentally tough on anybody. I mean, look at how crazy all of us have gone during COVID. Just for being told to stay home and not be running around doing this crazy crap we usually do. JC, I will. I'm getting ready to crochet, and I may look at that dumbass Dr. Phil. Not one of my favorites. I am getting a little, I've said before, I wrote him on 3 separate occasions about without a box of Kleenex. That's why every now and then when she starts bitching about it, I'll pull out my Olena Terrell graphic that says, "Tell Katie it was me." Because at the time I mistakenly thought that maybe he could help her. Now I'm to the point where it's like, ain't no help but being banned off the internet. That is an idea. That's a good way to put them. Okay, I'll have to do that, Diash. I'll have to look too and see if they updated my pacer. If they did that, then I may have it. Angela, that would be nice, but here's the thing about getting those kind of guys fixed. It doesn't stop what they do. They never lose the urge to do those things. So chemical castration or physical castration doesn't work. They continue to offend, and they continue to do that. There are lots and lots of studies on that where they do that, and it's just bad news all the way around. Even though you may think that that's something you want to do, it's not going to stop them. And it probably won't stop him if he's a typical offender. Hair ties, yep, the hair ties have got to be stuck up. That's true. Okay, you guys, I'm going to run off and go look at those documents. You have a good day. Have a better day than I'm having I'm home now. I've screamed and hollered at the guys who were putting in the cable. They probably think that crazy American woman. I'm going to have to take pictures and post them so you can see, because I was, like I said, Issei went through the attic and ran the wires down, and it was gorgeous. These guys, it's kind of like, I tell people all the time about you have to be really careful when you have Tico repairmen, because they will do the cheapest, easiest thing right away. This is a perfect example of when you leave Tico repairmen by themselves and don't stand over them and don't watch them. They will always do the cheapest, easiest thing, even if it looks like, you know what. Okay, love you guys. I'm going to go lay down.